What's up, guys? Welcome to the channel and welcome to Bioweaver. This is a auto shooter game based around some, I guess you would call it kind of like basic programming. It deals with iterative effects and synergies where you have one effect that can trigger another effect and ad nauseum, as long as you have capacity for doing so. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Played this for like, I don't know, 2 hours yesterday. I put out a poll asking what you guys might be interested in seeing, and I put out a few options. The first option was going to be for a game that comes out, I believe, tomorrow, called Nightica. I still might cover that one. That one's the auto battler. This is the auto shooter roguelite style game, which I don't know, you might consider it a roguelite. It is what it is. This one's the one that focuses around the coding and making super broken builds. That one got the majority of the votes, so that's why we're here right now. And then the last one was going to be Wizard of Legend 2, which is a fast-paced roguelite with a pretty hard difficulty to it. But anyway, this one won the vote. And if you're wondering why you can't hear music right now, is because I decided to turn the music off because they use the most generic, like, royalty free music in this game ever, and it's not great. Like, if I put the music in right now, you would probably think, oh, yeah, I've heard this song in a million different ones. They use it to, avoid copyright strikes and all that stuff. But anyway, I'm going to not have the music playing, and we'll just have the glorious sound effects kind of do its thing. But anyway, let's go ahead and get started here. Here is my save that I was doing before. I didn't put too much time into it, maybe like an hour and a half or something like that, and I enjoyed what I played. So let's go ahead and get into it. I'm gonna go ahead and skip the tutorial. I'm not gonna turn on hardcore mode, but let's go ahead and get into it. All right, so here we are. We are this little blob guy. Now, one thing I want to address right off the bat is the opening cutscene to this game. It really looks like it's AI art, and I really thought it was. So I did some research, and the devs have stated, like on Steam and all that stuff, that it's all hand drawn. It's not AI art. So that that's what they say. Whether I entirely believe them or not, I don't know. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt, and if it comes out later that they do utilize AI art, then well, I don't support that. I don't support AI art. Anyway, let's get into this. So we are this little blob dude. He's a little scientist who he injected himself with stuff and turned into a blob. Doesn't matter. The story isn't really the biggest thing here, and we've got a few things that we can go off of here. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of all this right here, and we'll explain a little bit of how the system works in this game. So you start off with your brain here, which is, you can see the brain to the left, and then you build off of it using various organs or things like that to iterate upon each other. So we are connected to the brain right now, so we can connect various things. You can see this has a green outline on it. That means that it's compatible with being placed. So you can think of this as the start to the chain of where you're going to be running along with all your stuff. So we'll go ahead and put the spine there, and then from there we have a number of selections. We're going to go ahead and put in this guy here. Now, one thing to note, you can see at the bottom of this little icon here a circle. Same with this one, you can see two circles. Those are vessels. Vessels are offshoots of this little thing. So basically this line. So if I swapped this one for this one, you can see there's no continuation on it because there is no vessel. So where possible, you want to have your chain continue with things that have vessels. And this will make more sense as we're playing. From here, you can see I can't chain this organ off onto another one of these like attack ones and stuff like that. That's because of compatible organs on the left and right hand side. So if I go over to this one, you can see things listed next to the icon up there on the left and the right. So on the left side, those are the organs that are always preceding it, so the ones that it has to connect to. And then on the right side, those are ones that can then help activate the effects of it. So I put this down when it's connected to this. So this organ right here, the spine, and if you read, some of the little things here, it says activation cycle 2 a second per activation, efficiency of 150%. Efficiency and all that stuff doesn't really matter. But the 2 per second means that it will do this attack 2 times, a second. Or 2 seconds per activation, rather. So every 2 seconds, this will attack 1 time. And then from there, we can take our nerve, which has 2 vessels. You can see 1, 2 vessels here. From there, we can take this and you can read the description. Chance to activate the right side organ when the left side organ hits an enemy. So if I put this here and do like this, for instance, every time this hits, there's a chance, which this has a 64% activation chance. There's a chance that it will then follow up with another attack. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and also put in one of these guys as well. So that way there's a chance to activate both of these. So this is a projectile attack, and this is a kind of a melee attack. Whatever. Let's get into this thing. Enough random things going on here. So we've got a number of towers that we'll have to go up and attack through and stuff like that. You've got a number of things that you fight through, and then you've got a boss. So anyway, let's go ahead and go to Lab Zone 1. And then from here, you've got your little bit of lore if you want to read through some of that. I'm not too stressed about that. From here, you have a number of choices between 2 different elevators, which will take you to different types of challenges. And the type of elevator will tell you what type of challenge it'll be. So this one is eliminate all the enemies, and you get a crate full of random stuff. This one, this red elevator, is a boss fight, which will have a specific thing, which in this case would be the spine. We're going to go with just this regular combat encounter. And anyway, you just head on in here, activate this, and then, yeah, you kind of do your little fights. You can see where our attacks are kind of doing their effects and whatnot. So if I hit with my initial attack, you can see extra tongues are coming out and attacking and all that stuff. So you can kind of see where the build can come together. And once we get certain abilities a little bit later on, which I don't know if I'll be able to show them in this episode, but we'll go ahead and do what we can. I gotta say though, ooh, deal with this guy, this little faux boss over here, and one more hit should do it. There you go. Whenever we get to some of the more interesting abilities, I think we'll be able to do a little bit more. So anyway, let's go ahead and continue on here. Hey, you surprised me. I never expected you could be back with a reactor. Now we can get access to the space downstairs. Put this reactor in the teleport device. Will do. This is for the shooting range. So as you clear levels, you will unlock reactors. Unlocking reactors will give you new abilities to utilize back at your home base. So in this case, we've unlocked the shooting range, so you can kind of test stuff. So we can head down here and see we can check all that stuff, but let's head back up here anyway. So we don't have access to this yet. We'll just have to kind of continue, and we'll just do that. We'll just keep working our way up the lab. Okay, so this one will lead to a specific resource we will end up needing. This one will lead to potions. Potions we can use when we mutate our abilities, which I'll explain that a little bit later once we get into all that. Oh yes, more lore. Text dumps. This elevator will lead to a time-based challenge, so you have to survive for X amount of seconds. I believe in the start here it's going to be like 40 seconds. Yeah, 40 seconds. So we just have to survive. So we'll go ahead and do that. We can try to go for kills, but in these survival challenges it's not really as big a deal. Right now there isn't a dodge, but you can unlock that ability, which we'll probably end up doing. It's not an amazing dodge, but it's okay. See, we're kind of struggling to get some kills here, which it is what it is. We only have to survive for 5 more seconds. Some of these enemies are a little bit tougher, but yeah, like I said, not really that big a deal for us to survive. But we do have 2 floors we have to go through this time. And I think we will go for the boss in this one. So that's going to summon one of this dudes. And as we are fighting and stuff like that, we'll be able to get new abilities and use them and all that stuff. It's not like an incredibly complicated game, but it does have some fun stuff going for it, which I do think is kind of cool. I don't think I mentioned the price earlier, but it's $9.99. It's not a crazy expensive game or anything like that, but I don't know. I've been enjoying my time with it. We got a few things here. We got a replica, which is basically just it's kind of a rarer version of some of the things that we've already gotten before. And then this is the new thing that we got, Limb of the Giant, which is a good attack. It's basically the attack the boss was doing. And we got the Grand Gene of the Locust. Very lovely. Wow, this reactor is beautiful. I'll put it to good use. It's time to upgrade the culture dish. Helps you modify your genes. Okay, so let's do that. Alright, now you can use genes. There was actually an update for this game today. I have no idea what they updated for it. But anyway, the more powerful the gene, the more DNA slots are needed. You may recycle some genes if you don't need them, breaking them into gene fragments. Gene device can generate new genes by consuming these fragments. That's all for today. Stay safe, buddy. Will do. Okay, so from here, you can see on the right-hand side where it says applied and stash, we can take these and apply them like so. We don't have any genes right now, but if we had some, which top left-hand corner shows you the amount of that currency that you have, but you can also upgrade and make certain numbers of them if you want to make them. I think this is for rarity of them. Anyway, let's continue. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter right now. Can we... Okay, so this is explaining the replica organs. They're different versions of the ones that we've already gotten. So you can see this is a spine of the lizard, which is just a better or different version of the pre-existing spine we already have. This one has a special effect to it, which is it has a 100% increased frequency, but a +1 to the capacity cost. The capacity cost is located at the top of the screen where it says 6 out of 6. That's the amount that we can place in these various things. One thing I would like to do is actually swap this out for this guy. So that way we pretty much have a melee build going. From here, if you go over certain things, you'll see on the bottom of the screen where mutate is showing up there. If we go to that, we can use some of these potions that we picked up, which the way that mutating works is you'll notice that on some of these they have a stat called durability. And that's on the right-hand side. You can see it in red there. It says durability 0. This one has durability 5. This one's got durability 0, 0, 0. You want to go for the ones that have durability. And the reason why is because when you mutate things, you can add mutations or traits to pre-existing things. And you use these potions that you collect in the levels to modify things. So we can add a modifier here. This one's increasing the crit chance but reducing the radius. It's not great, but whatever, crit chance is fine. So this has 65% crit chance. We can do it again. And chance to stun for 0.25 seconds when crit. So that actually works out all right. It's only a 6% chance. It's not crazy. You do have to be a little bit careful, though, because some of these things can increase the capacity of like the capacity cost, and if it goes over, we can't use it. So we'll have to be a little bit careful. So that takes care of the radius decrease, but it does lower our damage, so we've kind of gone backwards a little bit as far as that's concerned. And we'll throw another one in here. Deals triple damage, delays effects for 1.34 seconds. That is not great, but if we kept that, it would actually increase the damage by a fair amount, but I'm not a big fan of the delaying the effect. But you know what? We'll deal with it. It's fine. If we wanted to test out how this would work, we could come down to the shooting range, and I could come over here. So the way that's going to work is, yeah, you'll see that it'll have a little blue crosshair that shows up, and then, yeah, it'll just kind of do its attack. But, yeah, we'll mess with it. Sure, why not? I've had this effect before where it dealt extra damage and all that, but, yeah. Anyway, let's fight a boss. We may or may not regret the choices we've set up. This boss does poison, I believe, which is not fun. We did end up getting the locust gene, which you can activate that by pressing square, or sorry, not square, X, and that'll do a little dash. Very cool. It takes 6 seconds, if I remember correctly, to come back. So not incredibly quickly, so not something you can repeatedly use, but, you know, it's still useful. Ow. Yeah, you can see the delay on the hit for that attack is kind of not great. Yeah, there we go. It actually did hit once, so that works. We are down half HP, which is not super lovely. You know, we'll just fight the boss again. Just try to be a little bit more careful. That's actually a different version. How about that? Slightly different version. It'd be lovely if the fists that I was doing would actually go towards the boss. That would be great. We might die if I'm not careful here. We don't have a great build for this boss. The delay on the fist is not great. But I will try not to die. Also don't know why it's aiming not towards the boss. Normally I've had better luck with how it actually aims at the boss when it hits. It's not like the direction that I'm aiming, so I guess we just have to get lucky. Kind of rushing along as far as the the progress is concerned. Like you're meant to farm up a little bit. Oh, we did get a replica of this. That's pretty cool. What's this do? Reduced interval? That's cool. That should be fine. Then we got some more genes that we can utilize. The HP regen would be nice. Not too terrible. Extra to your maximum HP. Not terrible. Yeah, but the standard one of this is it's an activation off of other things. Working with you to reactivate these devices reminds me of the days when we were building this base. Maybe I should also figure out a way to make a new body. Forgive me, I'm so emotional today. Let's upgrade the operating table first. Okay, let's do that. Okay, I'll grant the operating table more interesting functions. Done! Now it allows you to recycle organs you don't like, turning them into cells. Select the organ you don't need and press the button. I think it's triangle or square or something like that. You can also spend cells to craft extra brains. Okay, and then you can increase your brain capacity. So, okay. Come on, bro, praise me. Yeah, okay, whatever. That's fine. Okay, so now you can get into the real meat and potatoes here. You can see on the top left-hand corner how we've been accumulating these cells. Now we can utilize that currency to either buy new brains, which do work in conjunction with each other, by the way. You're not selecting like a loadout. You're actually making your entire kit. So you don't necessarily want to put all of your eggs in one basket, so to speak. But anyway, let's go ahead and do this. I don't think you necessarily want to. I don't think you necessarily want to entirely focus on one brain, like with your capacity upgrades and stuff like that. You want to kind of, upgrade as you need it. But anyway, I'm not really liking what we ended up doing with this, so let's see if we can... Hey, it worked. Okay. Or actually, no, it didn't. We didn't get rid of the right thing. Um, so we can... Insufficient durability. Well, that's fine. Not a big fan of this attack. I might just sell it, actually. Let's just sell it. And we'll swap it for something else here. So... Let's see. If this activates, it will cause damage like a dot, which is not terrible. I think I'm okay with that. Yeah, I think I'm okay with that. Now, we've got 1,780 of our various little things here, so I think what I want to do is I want to unlock another brain. So, when you unlock another brain, that just gives you a whole new tree to experiment with here. I'm going to be putting the spine of the lizard over here, and for now, we're going to go ahead and just put in this guy, so that's going to do that. And I don't have any other organs to do this, so from this point, I can also show this off real quick. You can see that our brains are going to be doing two different attacks. So we've got our ranged attack, and we've got our little melee attack that we set up previously. So both brains are activating at the same time. So now you can see we've got our little poison and all that stuff going, which is not too bad, actually. So, okay, let's get into this. We haven't even scratched the surface as far as how the synergies work and whatnot. But let's go ahead and do Zone 2 again and see if we can get some more stuff to help with the build. So, yeah, that's what we're going to do. Now we've got at least our second brain going to help a little bit with some of the damage. Just to kind of make it so that we don't only have to focus on the tongue lashing attack. You can see we've definitely got better clearing. Our tongue lashing attack is helping with some of the stronger enemies as far as dealing damage over time. You can see the poison actually super messed that guy up. Not too bad. We got a spine. I think I'm going to go with this one too. This elevator will lead to an event where you have to press and hold little switches. So, learning which elevators do what for objectives is a little important. So, something to keep in mind. And as you're not standing on this, the little bar will go down, so you do kind of have to manage it a little bit. Eventually, we're going to be getting some of the other currency, the DNA strands, which will be very useful for us. And then from there, you can unlock new passives and stack new passives and stuff like that. I don't know. There's just something I'm enjoying about this game. You know, it's simplistic as far as, you know, the graphics and the presentation and stuff. There's little things they could do to improve. I think an actual soundtrack would be just lovely, because as it stands right now, the music in the game is bad. It's not good. But if you can deal with not listening to music, or maybe put your own music on, you know, in the background or something like that, then you know, that's fine. We could also just play again, so I can just hit triangle and we can play again and do it. But that's one way you can kind of farm stuff up. But we did get another spine, which is slightly different from the one that we had before. But let's go ahead and continue here. Let's see, did I get anything necessary as far as add-ons to this? So yeah, no, got the spine. Okay, so generally organs with a cycle cannot be triggered instantly. They are triggered after a complete cycle. Activation cycle, so on and so forth. So this one has an insufficient frequency, which, yeah, it is what it is. 1.5 seconds. And then this one has 1 second. So I think if I do... Where was it? Insufficient frequency. I can't remember what I would need to actually put on here. Yeah. Right side of the duration effect. Time counter, the triggered organ will only be in when the duration is done. Example with the antenna, which fires a projectile that lasts for 1 second. is on the left side of the spine, 1.5 seconds. In this case, the effect of the antenna disappears before the time. Okay, so yeah, it would fire, last for 2 seconds, and then it would have an issue with overlapping every 1.5 seconds. So, interesting. Yeah, well, it is what it is. Okay, so, I mean, will it even activate? Let's see. Yeah, it will. Alright, so let's take this, and you have a vessel. We'll put you on here and go like that for now. This might work. So the way this works is it'll shoot out the ability, and then when that ability ends, it will then boomerang back and shoot again. Which, we're still not even at the point where it's like super balling out of control, you know? We're not at that point, because we don't have enough organs. But anyway, let's run in here. You want to kind of somewhat rush through this first lab segment, because this is where you unlock a lot of your basic abilities, and then you can get to farming and all that stuff. Yeah, still not a super crazy build yet. Once we beat the first boss, then we can start getting to some of the fun effects and all that stuff. Yesterday, a good portion of my my playtime was replaying levels, getting upgrades, a bunch of organs and stuff like that. So until you actually put through the time to do all that, you're kind of limited by what you can set up. Not great, not terrible though. Fight a boss. I think this guy shoots, yeah. So we can kind of keep our distance a little bit. Could try to proc some poison. That would help a little bit. Yeah, that poison's gonna mess them up. I think they changed up. That's something that the patch might have changed. They might have changed how the readability on boss attacks, because before I don't think it did the blinky thing where it showed when it was going to attack. So that's a good change. That's a good change. Okay, Retina of the Raven. So this has a chance to activate the right side organ when the left side organ contributes to a kill. So that could be interesting. The Antenna of the Snail replica. That one shoots a little boomeranging projectile. Let's see. Battery we got. That's for the 3D printer, which we've just now unlocked. Oh, I just noticed the batteries you have collected. Let's put them to good use. Take the reactor here. Bang! Welcome to our printing room. Let me introduce you to this brand new 3D printer. This device crafts organs for you. Just drop the cells into the printer and they will work automatically. Lovely. Unfortunately, some machines were broken. Give me some batteries and maybe I can fix them. If you don't like the organs in the queue, you can refresh them. Printing room can be upgraded as well. An advanced printing room is more likely to craft diverse organs with higher quality. Okay. Hope you have a great shopping experience. Thank you. Yes. And so we can see various things that they have on offer. You can spend your currency to, again, top left-hand corner. Right-hand corner, you can see where it says 15 for R1 there. That means we can upgrade the shop if we so choose. These don't like disappear run to run. This one's actually really nice, this nerve of the wolf replica, because it has a 100% activation chance as opposed to a 25% chance. So every single time it activates, it will activate. It's pretty good. But we're not going to buy that just yet. What we're going to do is we're going to farm up a little bit and see if we can get some more stuff. So we can actually we can replace this This will be compatible with antennas, limbs, fur, horns, and offspring, which we haven't seen most of those things. And the way this works is the contributing towards kills thing. It's not that big a deal. We could swap this. That does 15. This does 22 damage. We could swap this, but we don't have a vessel for that, unfortunately, so it's kind of not a thing that matters right now. Yeah, it is what it is. Okay. And then, yeah, sure, let's go with that. Why not? If I had more spines, I could swap this out for something a little bit better, which we could do that now. If we wanted different spines, we could go for Lab 1, which we might as well. You'd kind of want to farm up for the cells currency like this, and you can do these relatively quickly depending on the type of thing you've got going on, the type of objectives rather. So you can see there, our new little boomerang ability is going off and doing its thing. We actually got a couple different activations on that one, which is pretty nice. You can see it has a chance to activate on every single enemy hit. So piercing abilities, abilities that hit multiple enemies is pretty nice. And yeah, if you combine that with certain other things, you know, it'll activate even more. And then you can go kind of crazy with how things ball out of control and whatnot. But yeah, there's some pretty crazy stuff you can get into. And so we'll just go ahead and play again. And yeah, we'll go with potions. Potions are used for mutations, which is always nice. It's never a bad idea to have a bunch of those. You will end up using a lot of them throughout your play, so that's something to consider. Yeah, I think this is working just fine. And it'll go even faster if you get the right types of objectives. Like if we get the boss objectives, we can clear those out pretty quickly. Same with the time objectives; those also aren't that bad. Those are 40 seconds at this point, which not terrible. And done. Lots of potions. Not too many cells, but that's okay. Ah, yes, more spines. More spines. Although I'm kind of want to avoid this objective. This objective takes probably the longest of all of them, just because, yeah, you kind of have to dance around enemies and whatnot. Which isn't too bad, but yeah. Can be a little annoying. As far as I can tell, there's no, like, limit on how many times you can do any given run, which is pretty good. Another thing I would suggest is better readability on when you take damage. You know, maybe like a little bit of screen shake or something more than just your little character going, ow. Go ahead and replay again. Every single time we replay one of these, we're getting a resource that I haven't brought up yet. It's called like a rusted chip or something. You need a specific currency in order to fight the bosses, like the main bosses, which, yeah, we'll get to that eventually. But, yeah, every time we complete one of these runs, we'll pick one of those up, and they're very useful. Not too worried about taking a lot of damage, mostly just because we've only got one stage to go through. And the second that the time's up, which is now, everything dies. So, not too worried about it. The random objectives aren't too bad to complete. But yeah, pretty quick as far as the farming is concerned. We've got a few things now, which is not too terrible. This is a saved kind of thing that we have set up. We don't have to worry about that. Let's split that. So let's see. If we put that in there, that'll help with that, I suppose. From here, let's see, no durability. You've got a durability of 2. One thing we could do is we could mutate you. We can add a trait, which that's extra efficiency. Efficiency on these activation organs will further increase the effects of the organs that are connected to it. So, say for instance, this has 68 extra efficiency. That'll make any ability I connect to this 68% more, damaging or whatever. But what I would like to do with this is actually just get rid of that and get extra vessels. So now we can add even more onto it. And this is what I was talking about as far as our brain capacity. Now, since we've got some things that we can throw in here like this, you can see we're at 9 of 6 brain capacity. I don't think I'm going to have enough to get this, but we'll go ahead and throw a couple upgrades in here. And we did have enough. So now this is our first brain capacity that has been upgraded. So now it should, activate and do a lot more stuff. Eventually. Can't remember what the chance of activation is. Hang on. Let's see. This is 100%. Yeah. Chance to activate. When it contributes as a kill. So this would actually have to do a killing attack. So I could take this and we could stash that, swap that for... Oh, wait, no, this doesn't have any vessels. But it does have some durability. So we can do that. I'm going to actually get rid of that and get a vessel. I don't know if I can do that, but that's okay. We only needed the one, I think, which is fine. We'll just slot that back in there and put that there. Okay, so there we go. Now this should activate and help with contributing towards the kill. We could swap this for something like this, but these don't have the necessary vessels to get what we've got going on. So anyway, let's go ahead and see here. Top left-hand corner, you can see we have 9 of those little rusted key things. It takes 4 to fight the boss, so we could fight this boss 2 times, which I'm not going to do that just yet. Let's go ahead and do Zone 3, I guess. Yeah, we'll go with the random crate. So this is just going to be fight a wave of monsters. So now you can see when an enemy gets killed, they will now split off and turn into more projectiles. 3 projectiles to be precise. So it's not too bad. Then obviously the hits on the boss count as contributing to a kill, so it'll just continually do their attacks. We could swap that out for like the tongue lashing attacks, and then it would do contact damage as opposed to projectile damage, which could work out. And then you could synergize that by, I don't know, tying it into dealing poison damage and all sorts of stuff. There's a lot of stuff you can do with this, but I'm okay with this right now. Not too bad. And I swapped it for the boomerang one just for the chance of hitting more enemies and doing slightly more damage on hit. So yeah. The longer that an ability is activated, the more chance that it will count as a contributed towards kill ability. at least as far as I can tell. So now you can see we're clearing stuff out pretty quickly now, which is just lovely. Just lovely. Yeah, that wasn't too bad. So, next goals would probably be farming, as far as what I want to set up and whatnot. Farming, getting more of the cells so we could upgrade our capacity and do more stuff. Getting, other things. We could do something silly like swap this for even more poison. That could be fun. And then we could like swap this for an antenna, so that way we could do even more poison. But for that we would need to, we would need to do like zone 4. But whatever. Let's fight the boss. This guy may be a problem. We'll see. Depends on how much we can get the poison activated on him. The poison's going to be a real clincher for us. So. Alright. We're trying. Okay, so we're on the second phase. We're going to get a big attack here. The build that I did previously actually, like, super killed this boss like really easily. So that's actually the longest that I've ever had to fight that boss. Still not a terrible fight. Now we've got some of these things. Fur of the Earthshaker. These things are really good. You can get some crazy funky builds going with these. But let's fight the boss one more time, since I've got the currency for it. And that wasn't too terrible of an encounter. As long as we can keep the poison on him. That's not too bad. We'll just have to be a little bit mindful of our dodging and whatnot, but it's not terrible. Be a little bit careful. And you're dead. Lovely. And we shouldn't be able to do it again. Yeah, we have insufficient chips. Which, whatever. It is what it is. Now, one of the fun builds I had going before was... and I want to check something real quick. Is that poison actually doing like a whole bunch? It's kind of hard to tell, actually. I can't tell if it's double activating or not. Whatever. Is what it is. Yeah, okay, so if we took some of these, which we can actually get rid of all of these, so that gives us 3 capacity, which isn't a lot, considering these things cost 3 by themselves. So that actually gets us all full up as far as that's concerned. This costs 3 for that anyway. We could swap this for something else if we're only going to be using one ability. That should be okay. That needs a vessel. Yeah, I should probably get rid of these things that don't have vessels anymore. 0.5-second activation. We can... I would like to take that out of there. Whatever. So, this... I don't know if we need to swap this, actually. This has 0 durability. It's not great. This has a little bit more durability. Increased frequency. Boss or elite. Right sides. Different types. That's kind of whatever. Makes it slower, which isn't amazing. And plus 2 additional vessels. That's pretty good. So this already has some traits to it, actually. Increasing the base damage is pretty good. And then... yeah, sure, why not? So this is a little bit better now. At least it should be. Alright, it's not going to activate here. We'll do a quick something here. Let's go for this one. There's some good abilities in these, but it does require a little bit of farming. I haven't really been able to show that off in this episode, and if we do a follow-up episode, I'll be able to show off a little bit more. But, yeah. This isn't activating the way that I wanted it to. I'll have to take a look at what we've got going on. Might need to buy some other organs or something. I think the frequency is working against what I had in mind. It's okay. We'll figure it out. Oh, and if you click R3, you can see how things activate and the damage that they deal and stuff like that. It's not incredibly important, but can help a little bit with how you have things planned out, if you so choose. I guess we'll go with another random. I want to get this fur thing taken care of, just as far as showing off how the ability works, but I'll have to theory craft it and experiment with how to actually properly activate it. I know it can activate if you get the right nerves and spines and stuff like that. It's just about enabling that the activation of the subsequent abilities. We'll work on it. I don't know how long this episode's going to be, but probably a little bit longer as we try to figure stuff out. Little space koala. Alright, not too bad. Alright. So let's see what's wrong with our little activation of our abilities over here. It's probably something to do with this guy. Yeah, insufficient frequency is the problem. It's like there's still stuff I need to figure out. You don't have any vessels. So that's also part of a problem. We don't have enough vessels. It's an issue. And it contributes to the kill. don't have enough capacity. We're at 11 out of 10. Need to get rid of something. Let's get rid of that. So is this gonna work? Let's see. Let's see. Fight a boss. Yeah, there it goes. It's working now. See, it was a lot faster than the first time we fought that. Oh, we'll go with a special crate, sure. Yeah, lot more powerful. Stuff. Okay, so I actually got we got a new one. That's cool. Organ cannot be activated. Add damage to homonymous paralleled limbs. Organs with the same parent are considered paralleled organs anyway. Huh. Cannot be activated. Interesting. So it just adds the damage to the next one in the chain, I suppose. That's kind of interesting. Haven't seen that before. That's cool. Okay, so we got some stuff to go through here. You can recycle these ones that you don't necessarily want to use. Like I'll get rid of these sea urchin ones. Get rid of these. We could keep the HP regen, critical strike multiplier. I don't really think I care about that much. Same with the movement speed. Movement speed's fine, but I'm okay with getting rid of them. Duplicating organs is great, and we'll go ahead and upgrade our capacity as well and throw some of these in here. Organ next to your brain has extra efficiency, is very good. Get some HP regen and quality of loot. Not too bad. Okay, so we've got slightly better efficiency, which will increase the damage of our subsequent abilities. I don't even know if both of these poisons are activating, to be honest. So we're going to go ahead and swap this. So this just won't activate. Adds damaged. Homonymous. Homonymous paralleled limbs. Organs with the same parent are considered paralleled. So it should be increasing the damage of the poison? Am I reading that right? No, it doesn't look like it's doing more damage for the poison. Still doing 10. I must not be understanding how that activates. Well, we can swap that for something else. We don't need to keep that there. We could go with this guy. That's probably fine. We could keep these. It's like we could mutate this. Increase the duration. Increased effect, which is the damage, which is fine. Slightly less duration, but we got a little bit of a boost to it, so it's only 10% less. It's okay. This guy, we can keep doing this. Double damage to enemies with more than 73% HP. That's pretty good, so a first hit kind of a thing. Base damage increase, pretty good. And increased radius. Yeah, that's a pretty good draw. Pretty good draw. From here, I would want to increase the capacity on this, but it's getting pretty expensive. We could increase the capacity of this whole deal. Just a smidge. Not enough to do much of anything, but, you know, a little bit more. We don't have any extra durability on these guys as far as open slots are concerned. Let's go for one more. I've got enough to fight the boss again. Let's fight the boss. Alright. see it's going a bit quicker than last time. Yeah, it wasn't too bad. Wasn't too bad at all. So yeah, you can see some of the potential of the game, and you know how you can do your runs and stuff like that. You can build up for different things. You can get different organs and whatnot. If you spend up, if you save up a little bit more, you can buy more of these things. And yeah, and then there's a lot of other stuff that we haven't even really touched on yet. Like, you know, this whole other world that I didn't even interact with yet. They also have like auto level scaling and stuff like that. Yeah, which is fine. But anyway, as far as a first episode and a first look at Bioweaver is concerned, I think that's going to do it. If you guys want to see more, make sure you let me know. But until then, I will see you all in the next episode. Bye-bye.